Hey everyone, it's Wednesday. That's New Comic Book Day. You're watching another In and Out Weekly Comics pull list. My name's Ash. This is Ash on Comics. You know the drill if you've been watching. If this is your first video of mine, welcome. I do a weekly pull list every week. I call it the In and Out pull list because I go to In and Out Burger and grab a burger for lunch after I grab my comics. And it dawned on me one day that I wanted to make my list full. I used to do these like half-hour long ridiculous videos. And people were like, you need to like sum this shit up. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's come in, get out, and get on with your day. Doesn't always work out. This is number 15. This is a good week for comics. A good week. Look at all of these number ones from Marvel. Look at this. You can get Web of Venom, Cult of Carnage. Wait, that's like two titles. That's like Web of Spider-Man, Cult of Venom. Why not just call it Cult of Carnage? Marvel loves these long titles in the modern time. So you got to get both names on the cover, double your celebrity status, if you will, with your characters. Then we've got, not to be outdone, Spider-Man, of course, has another comic book. I think this is like the third week in a row where there's a new Spider-Man comic, although this week there's only one new Spider-Man, unlike the previous weeks where there was two. But still, how many freaking Spider-Mans can you have? This one is Symbiote of Spider-Man, and it's number one. Now, both of these are $4.99, but don't let the fact that Marvel Comics have the lowest production quality in the business. This is Spider-Man. Really, dogs? Come on. This is Spider-Man, all right, and Venom and Carnage. Like, they command a high price tag because you got to have your Marvel, right? Now, War of the Realms is out. Everyone knows. Everyone is, last week you got your War of the Realms, right? Number one. Here's another War of the Realms, number one. This is War of the Realms Journey into Mystery. Wait a second. This is another one with two titles. There's, what? The Journey into Mystery is already a comic. Okay, whatever. War of the Realms, it's another number one. It's more War of the Realms. Unlike the other War of the Realms that's $5.99 though, this one's only $3.99. It's a deal. Then we've got Star Wars Age of Republic. Wait, no, it's not Age of Republic. This is now Age of Rebellion. I guess they ran out of Star Wars characters to do Age of Republic with, so now they're changing it to Age of Rebellion. So Star Wars Age of Rebellion, Grand Moff Tarkin number one. How many titles are you going to put in this? Now, next we'll have Star Wars Age of Rebellion, Grand Moff Tarkin shitting on the toilet number one. And here's another Star Wars Age of Rebellion. Like, there's two Star Wars Age of Rebellion number ones. Not only should these be consecutive issues, like Star Wars Age of Rebellion number one, Grand Moff Tarkin, then Age of Rebellion number two, Princess Leia, Age of Rebellion 3, whoever. No, they can't do that. They have to always do these number ones because certain people only think that buying number one, whatever. But they're doing it in the same weeks now. Good Lord, they're just stepping on the gas. And next we have Marvel Tales Thanos. No, here's another book with two. There's Marvel Tales comic and there's a Thanos comic. But now we have Marvel Tales Thanos number one. $7.99? Are you out of your mind? So this week I decided I was going to add it up because I know Marvel doesn't just do normal prices. They like to push that envelope. So I'll see how much it costs to get all your Marvel number ones this week. $30. $30. That's almost as much as I spent for my entire pull list. But hey, you can't put a price on collectability like this. This is stuff that you're going to put your kids through college with. Don't miss out. All right, I've blabbed on long enough about that. This is my pull list this week, spoiler alert. This is my box. This is the first thing I unbox every week. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to a video. I like to do this occasionally. This is Fourth Age. Here's his YouTube site. And he recently did a video that I thought was really good. He's got some really good insight to stuff, which is what I like about his videos. He's got this video called This Relationship Just Ain't, the title is Why the Comic Industry is Failing Comic Readers. The clickbait is This Relationship Just Ain't Working. And
I I go over the state of the comic industry on...
Anyways, good video. Why I like this one and why it's related to today and why I'm bringing it up is because he talks about how comics, especially Marvel comics, aren't really comics anymore. They're not made for your entertainment. They're advertisement to push the actual industry, which is movies and merchandise. And you might say, okay, Ash, but that's been that way for a long time. Well, kind of. You know, Marvel's always wanted to sell merchandise. You know, there's toys and they had cartoons and things like that. But those were things that relied, like they were subsidiary to the comics. Like the comics built those. But nowadays, Disney and Marvel don't look at the comics as, you know, the building blocks. They just look at it as essentially a catalog, or, you know, free marketing for them at least, to get you to buy their wares. Anyways, check out his video. He puts it a lot more eloquently than I do, and I think he makes some terrific points. And it's kind of scary because it really just means that the industry isn't going to come around anytime soon if he's right, or ever, because it's dead. So check out that video. Let's see what I got today. You know what I got today. I get it almost, well, I don't always get the same burger, but I normally do. Get out of there. What is this? In-N-Out, look at it. It's got a cool picture of a car on the receipt. Double with ketchup, extra spread, add pickles, and then I get ketchup on top of the spread. Don't waste that cheese. Look at this. I dare say that looks better than the picture. I think the picture looks too like a fake burger. This one looks like a real burger. Man, this is a company. Look at it. I spent $4 on this burger. I got the best customer service that I pretty much get anywhere. A bunch of smiles. You feel genuinely welcome at the store. They're not like, oh, this guy's only paying $4, whatever. They double check my order at every section of the way to make sure that I'm getting what I want. These guys are fantastic. By the way, if you ever go to In-N-Out and you get a burger that's not quite to your satisfaction, it's overcooked, undercooked, whatever, something's not right, bring it back. I know it's hard if you're in the drive-thru, you can't really do that, but if you're dining in, they will not question you. Like they're like Zach on this. They on his, like, with his comic, like just like they want you to. They genuinely are like, don't want you to walk out of the door unhappy. There's like no questions asked. I mean, they want to know why you're bringing the burger back, but if you're like, it doesn't taste right, I don't, this cheese isn't melted properly, whatever, the stupidest reason, they'll be like, oh, okay, because they just want to know how to fix it. That's the only question they're going to ask you, is what they can do to make it better. They're not going to just be like, really? I'm sorry, we're not, you ordered it well done. And, they're not going to make a fuss. Trust me. Like, that's, and I tell people, I had an In-N-Out burger and it was like, the bun was too toasty, whatever. I was like, dude, you just give back to them. They'll be happy to make you a burger to your perfection. So, comics. What do we got? Boom. Oh, here's my receipts. See? Just a little bit more than it costs to get all these Marvel #1s. I bought a soda today, an energy drink. I was dragging. I like this new thing. I do this thing called League of Comic Geeks. They have an app and a website, and it works. I like the website better than the app. The app is still kind of a little buggy, but your miles may vary. And one of the things that the app does, it's got a lot of things that you can do, like keep track of your comics, see what's coming out, do reviews, all sorts of stuff. It's a great site for just if you collect comics. And one of the things that they can do is you can put down all the comics that you collect, and they'll automatically pull them. They'll pull them virtually into your own inventory, so you can catalog your books. And then they also have a printable version, which you can print out, take to the comic book store, which I decided to start doing. And then I have this cool box, and then I just slide it in here. And now I can just, instead of pulling up my phone and getting first world problems, I can look and go, oh, hey, these are the books I'm getting this week. So spoiler alert, you're looking at what I'm getting. This is a great week. Now, please, hopefully you're like, oh, don't need to watch anymore. Yes, you do, because I talk about the books. So, Flash, number 68. Josh Williams, one of the best mainstream writers in the business, doing Flash. I get his Birthright title. That's how I really discovered him as a writer, and I'm floored with that series. It's currently on hiatus with Image right now, but I'll talk about that another time. Look at this freaking psychedelic cover. Pretty cool. Let's move along. Justice League Odyssey, number 8. I'm not actually reading this book currently because I'm behind and I have other stuff, but I buy it because I have faith in Dan Abnett, and I just need to catch up on this book. But speaking of books I don't need to catch up on, the best book, in my opinion, in comics right now, as far as like mainstream superhero comics go, Hawkman. This is number 11. This is the alternate cover. Wow, number 10 floored me. I'm enjoying this book so much. I don't want to oversell the book to people. I mean, you're not going to read it and go, oh, it's the next Watchmen, or anything like that. It's not like this profound book, or, it's not existential. It's not super deep or meaningful. It's just quality on every single point with a really fun, thrilling storyline and character development that makes you really, really like pull and identify and just like the main hero, and you just want to see more of this book. Every time you're just done reading it, every time I'm done reading, I'm just like, oh no, I want to read more, and I have to wait a month. But as frustrating as that is, that's part of what this hobby is about. We get a lot of people today that are just sort of have this entitlement mentality and this sort of binge thing. I was like, oh, I don't want to read these. I'll just wait until it's in trade, then I can binge it. I don't like to wait month after month, but it's like, that's one of the fun things about comics. I know it's a little frustrating to wait, but the payoff, it's like tantric sex. Okay, I'm not going to go there, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you wait and it sucks, but then when you get that book, the excitement for it, when it's good, is payoff. The bad thing is when the book's not good and you waited all that time and you're just let down, it's worse. And I think that's why people are into binging nowadays, because while the payoff isn't as good, the letdown isn't as bad. And we're just so used to mediocrity these days that we don't want the letdown. Look at this weird ass cover for Red Hood Outlaw. I don't know what's going on here. I stopped reading the book when it went to Outlaw, but then I kept buying it because of these kick-ass covers, so I'm kind of committed. I'll have to catch up on those. I hear people have been saying that it's good, which Scott Lobdell was doing a good job, so I'm happy. This is Batman Who Laughs, number 4, which I haven't read because I'm going to binge it. I know it goes against what I was just saying, but this is a mini-series, a little different. And the reason I'm binging it isn't because I feel it's a better way to read it. It's really priorities. I'm trying to catch up on the whole Metal storyline, so I'm better informed of this book. I've got other books that I'm behind on. So it's not there's a different reason I'm binging it. So Batman Who Laughs, and now we have The Batman Who Sucks. Batman 68 by Tom King, who's having a midlife crisis, I think, right before our eyes, and he's expressing it through his comic books, turning Batman into, I don't know, some beta male. I don't know what he's doing. And then we have the Batman Who's Awesome, Peter Tomasi. Look at this alternate cover by Finch. Oh, so good. I love this cover. Yeah, I don't know what this storyline involves, but the last storyline was badass. I know some people were upset with the ending because it felt a little bit like the carpet pulled out from under you. I think it was the appropriate ending for what the story was trying to achieve, which was a celebration of Batman and being able to have all these different characters involved to kind of lead up to, his big anniversary. And I think that type of story, I don't want to spoil it, was a good way of having those characters be involved and make sense, you know? So, and leading up to it, man, the first couple issues were phenomenal. And then we have the Superman who sucks. Cool alternate cover. But if you've been following my reviews, you know everything that's going on with Superman. Oh boy. I just keep buying it because he's like my favorite character. And he makes for good videos. Then we got Prodigy. Now this one started off rocky for me. This is number 5. Yeah, number 5. This one started off rocky for me, and I was a little bit like, oh, this book is too cheesy. The character is a Gary Sue, and and then I realized I was being a little bit uptight. I was like, this is comic books. Just let go, enjoy the ride. And once I did that, I was like, I'm really enjoying this. You have to really suspend your disbelief for the book, but I feel like that's kind of been the norm for comics forever. Like, come on, we have a guy that is a god because of a yellow sun. It's like, so I was like, okay, I'm being too uptight. It's very easy to do in this modern age of comics where there's so much crap going on that we just like look for it everywhere. But the book is fun. It's not the greatest book in the world, but if you're looking for fun, watch my reviews. I think it's if they do turn it into a TV series at Netflix, it could be a really cool one. Or probably better served as a movie. And then finally, Oblivion Song. I have not been talking about this book because I got behind on it, and I talked about this on my Discord server, which, by the way, I have a Discord server. Everyone who watches, you're invited to come along and join the conversation. It's a better way of talking about comics than Twitter, because Twitter gets so clogged up with everything else, you know, that you have whatever else you're into, plus you have all the SJWs and whatever. This is just comic book people wanting to talk about comics. I talked about this book and I got behind on it. And I was a little bit embarrassed that I got behind on it because I love this book and I talked so much hype onto it. But it's really good. And what happened is I just got a few issues behind, and then I'm a big procrastinator. I was like, okay, I'll catch up later. And I pushed it off, and then I got like 4 issues behind. And then I was like, oh, geez. And it started to become like this mountain, which just perpetuated the cycle even worse. And then my boy Comic Quirks is a big Oblivion Song fan too, and he started like talking about how much he was loving it. And I was like, yeah, I love that comic too. And I kept looking at my stack and going, why am I not reading this? You know, I love it. And I was like, oh, I know, because I didn't want to sit down and read a big stack of issues. I was just busy. So I was like, nope, I got to commit. And I finally just like, boom, caught up with the second story arc, which was even better than the first story arc. And I was like, and I just kept saying, why did I not? It's the weirdest thing. Anyways, I'm blabbing now. This is one of the best comics that's out there. I think the reason I made this long story for you is because I need to emphasize the fact how good it is. And I don't want you to think, well, he asked you to put it down. It can't be that good. No, it really is. I'm just an idiot. This is a great deep dive sci-fi story that's a little bit like Alice in Wonderland. If Alice in Wonderland was a space alien type weird dark horror story. But the way it just keeps, every time you're like, okay, I think I know what's going on. And then it's like, nope, there's more to it. And you're like, geez, what? And it's just this onion as the layers are peeling back, and it's fantastic. And there's a lot of characters. It's a Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame. You know, he's famous for having all these different characters and things. And it's awesome. It's not zombies. And it's really compelling. I can't hype it enough. They release the trade paperback the month after the story arc ends. So for instance, 1 through 6, when 7 came out, they released a trade paperback. So you could get 1 through 6 in the trade paperback and then be caught up for 7. When 13 came out, they released a second trade paperback to catch you up through 7 through 12. So you always have a jumping on point. Every 6 issues, you have a jumping on point. Do it. Anyways, I'm trying to hype up books. It's 20 minutes. You guys have been fabulous if you're at this point. If you didn't get to this point, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you're pulling. Tell me what you're enjoying. Tell me what you don't like in my... Whatever you want to talk about comics, put it down below. Happy New Comic Books Day. Move the needle on all of these except for Batman and Superman. And thanks for watching. Bye.